I was at an event last week called Commerce Roundtable. There was like 300 other people at that event. And I heard one of the craziest scaling stories I've ever heard in my life. And I want to break down the lessons from that scaling story. I'm going to reveal who the brand is. I'm going to reveal how they're doing this exactly, even the ads that they're using to scale. But this brand, for context, is 3 years old and they've done $80 million in sales. Isn't that crazy? Absolutely mind-blowing. And at this event, they were breaking down specifically what are some of the decisions that they're making. And like if you looked around the room, like people's minds were blown because you saw a light bulb moment go off in their head once they realized like how aggressive these people are being and how unaggressive they're being for their brand. And I kid you not, like brand owners were looking at each other, like shaking their heads because they realized like, dude, like I am playing small. And so this video is for you if you feel like you're not playing big enough, because it is a big world out there and there's so much opportunity. That's gonna become very clear at the end of this video. To get to $80 million in 3 years, I don't think you realize how rare that is. That puts them in probably one of the fastest growing companies in the world, at the likes of ChatGPT when they launched. That's at the likes of even faster growing than Facebook was in the beginning. This is a rocket ship, unlike proportions I have never seen. Yeah, I've heard of brands getting to $80 million, $100 million over 7 years, but this is a unicorn company. It's insane. And so what are some of the things that they're doing? So the reveal I want to show you is the brand who is doing this is called Instant Hydration. And everything I share in this video is public knowledge from that event. And so I'm going to withhold some of the things that they have asked not to be shared, but what I'm going to share with you is okay. Because this brand, Instant Hydration, they sell these types of products. And they're not the only person to do that. So the first thing you should take away from this is like, this is what I would call a very competitive market. There are hundreds of these types of brands, okay? And they are not the first. They probably aren't even the 100th, but still they have found a way to outcompete the big dogs in a space that's very competitive. So the first thing you should take away is, even in your space, if you aren't the big dog, you can still compete. And I think there's gonna be some principles here you can take away from that teach you how to compete in this space. Now, just for some context, the person who owns this brand, his name is Jordan Menard. He is probably the greatest advertiser on the planet, okay? And that is definitely an edge. He can outbeat everyone else in how good he actually is. And so what are some of these things that they're doing to outcompete everybody else? And number one, he showed this at the actual event, and that is he doesn't give a crap about ROAS. In fact, his in-platform ROAS that he showed at the event is 0.5x, not 1%, not 1, not 2, not 3, 0.5. So why is this important? Let's illustrate this. I've shown in many other videos how focusing on ROAS is the worst thing you can do for your brand. And I've even showed in another video where by lowering your ROAS expectations and doing more volume, it'll make more profit overall. But a brand like this, like even from day one, he didn't care about ROAS. And this brand is profitable, okay? So it's not like they have deep funding and deep pockets and they can spend endless amount of money. No, like they are profitable, okay? And so it just shows you, you aren't playing the game right. So for example, how are they doing this? I'll illustrate an example real quick and I'll show you a sheet to help you with this. So let's say, for example, this is a graph of your sales, okay? Okay, and let's say, for example, we're gonna say this is MER. Okay, we know what MER is marketing efficiency ratio. So green is MER, marketing efficiency ratio, which is my gross revenue divided by my marketing spend. So let's say my MER, for example, is, let's say on average, it's like, to keep it even, a 3x. And for every $1 I spend, I make $3 gross overall. Okay, makes sense. So how he's able to do this is he says MER for him is still the best North Star to making a scale decision. So let's say, for example, my returning customers, let's make them this color. Let's just make it a different color, easier. This brand is a subscription brand, which I'll talk about that here in a second. It's his returning customers. So this color is, oh my gosh, it's too light. Sorry guys. There we go. This is returning customers, his subscribers. And let's say on average, his returning customers, okay, makes up, let's just keep it even. Let's say his returning customers makes up $500,000 a month. Okay, cool. All right. So that's his MER right here. That's returning customers. And then let's say new, because he is a very professional advertiser. New is something like this. This is new customers, okay? And let's say his new customers on average, it's gonna be something like 1 million a month, because 80 million a year, they're probably doing way more than that. But let's say it's 1 million a month, okay? So what we're doing is MER is gross revenue divided by marketing spend. But what he's doing is he's looking at MER on the daily. And that is, if he has a certain amount of money here, what it means is he can spend way more to acquire a customer because he already has this bottom cohort of people he can rely on. So really what that means is, even on the first order, if his overheads, for example, let's say his overheads are like $90,000 a month, meaning as long as he is getting $100,000 in contribution profit, he is still making $10,000 after paying himself, after paying his employees, okay? So what that means is he is able to scale insanely aggressive, even lose money on the first sale, because he knows he has this cohort of people who are helping fund the scale, which is the new customers, okay? And why this is so important is it comes down to LTV. So this is a calculator that we use when brands come to us. It's not this brand, but it gives a really great example of a brand who is just like has a cash cow of a business. And he does this based off 90-day LTV, okay? So this is what we call 90-day LTV gross profit. So that means day one of acquiring a customer right here, that in 90 days, we get a 60% uplift from that revenue. So it goes from $66, their net AOV is $355, but we get a 60% uplift from those people. I'm sorry, right here. This is what you need to look at. That's AOV. So if we make $176 off this person on the first order, that's our gross profit from it, even after acquiring them with ads. That 176 turns into 398 by 90-day LTV. And the reason he's able to do this is because he is coming to this, bring this full circle, is he is acquiring customers, or CAC, at 90-day LTV. Because it's a subscription brand, he knows how often people stay with him. He also knows at what point would he be profitable, he could afford to acquire a customer based off the gross profit from that order at 90 days. And so he said that he's actually okay with losing money, $30 an order on the first sale, because he knows by day 90, he's gonna be profitable. So what that means is you have to be really, really good with your numbers to do this, but that's why he's able to scale so aggressively. He's like, he said that he would love to acquire customers at a 0.10x ROAS. But the big part that he talked about is there's this something, what he calls, and this is his term, is real CAC. That's his term, not my term, but I really like how he explains it. Real CAC is because Meta is an auction. And since Meta is an auction, and that is Meta believes that there is the perfect return or CAC to acquire a customer based off all their data points. And so Jordan, what you all know about Jordan is he's done this for many brands. He's done this for like big brands like Everyday Dose and Rice Coffee. Like he is the guy that got them 9 figures from ads. And what he's discovered is that once you find what that real CAC number is that Meta will give you an unlimited amount of new customers at that target. And it just so happens for him, it's at a 0.5x ROAS, which I can surmise what that probably is. For him, that's probably like $90 to $100 cost to acquire a customer for this product, which is, costs like $25 or $30, for example. And so what that means is he says he believes an unlimited amount of customers by getting that real CAC. And so his goal is to make his business model so good that he can afford to acquire customers at a 90-day LTV, realize that real CAC from Meta, so then Meta will theoretically give him an unlimited amount of new customers. And so, dude, that's why he's blowing past everybody. He's got a good product. Yes, I can't discount that. He's got a great product. And as long as he can float the cash for 90 days, he will be profitable after 90 days. And it's just a freaking snowball from there. Because imagine if you were acquiring 20,000 customers a month, okay? 20,000, month 2, that's 40,000, month 3, that's 60,000. And by the time you reach that point, your month 1 people are now making you profit. And then the month 2 people, the next month are now making you profit again. It's a snowball effect because especially since you're on subscription, like they're gonna keep buying. Like it's just like a freaking, like it's like compound interest. It's like up and to the right. And so that's why he's able to do this. All right, number 2, how he's able to do this is they are making really great ads. Now, great ads, that's the secret number 2. Now, he is one of the world's greatest advertisers, and he has a team dedicated just to making really great ads. So I don't want to discount that, but I do want to make it really clear that if he didn't have a good product and good business model, great ads are not going to fix it. But once he does have that, he knows how to scale it. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch one of their best ads that they're running right now. I can't throw out the numbers, so I'm not sure if it's sensitive information. What I can say is that these ads have made 7 figures in revenue. So the ad that they're running right now, that's crushing, hope you guys should be able to hear it, is this right here.
We apologize to anyone who saw our new cherry limeade flavor. because we lied. Yes, it's true that we collaborated with Olympic gold medalist Sean Johnson to bring you this flavor. And yes, it's true that all our electrolyte flavors, including this one, use a gray sea salt imported from France that contains over 80 trace minerals and also has magnesium, potassium, and aquamin, an anti-inflammatory derived from red marine algae. And yes, it's true that this new cherry limeade tastes like a delicious splash in a summer breeze, reminiscent of freshly squeezed fruit, all while being zero sugar and zero artificial anything. But we didn't realize just how obsessed people would be with it. It sold out almost instantly when we first dropped it, and now there's barely any left, again. Right now you can get some for 40% off, so hurry up and go get some before it runs out completely.
All right, so why is this ad crushing? So this mini ads, I encourage you to go watch the ads. In fact, if you're interested, I will leave a way for you to have access to this ad library I've curated from them specifically. But that one ad, it's made 7 figures. Why is it really good? Well, number one, I do know firsthand that they made that with an iPhone. So they made most of the raw shots from an iPhone, but then they cut it together and made what they have now. The other thing is the hook is just great, right? It creates a curiosity loop where the entire time you're waiting for the payoff of how did they lie? How did they lie? And they kind of touch on it, but they really don't. So it's just like a really great hook rate. Number 3, along the way, they're talking about the benefits. Like they're slightly just dropping benefit after benefit, the products and what it does to you and where it's from. The 4th is also as social proof, right? They collabed with an Olympian. So now you know it must be good enough for an Olympian because they have like the strictest diets and regimens on the entire planet, right? So in one ad, it includes all of, I'm sorry, I meant to mention this. Also the B-roll too. The B-roll is fantastic. They mentioned like a summer drink. And so they add a lot of sensational B-roll in there, like the cherries and also the things like putting it in a glass of ice. It doesn't increase the taste of it, just increase the aesthetic of it, right? And the perception of it. So really great things inside of it. And then also the fact that it's sold out immediately to more social proof. So just an incredible script. Oh, by the way, this is a big secret, is I use Atria for my stuff. You don't have to use Atria. I think other platforms do this as well, but I really like it because I can take the script, I can transcribe it, bada boom, I can copy it, then I can go and have AI take it, make my own version of it with my products and the details about my brand and my products. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you know this, I'll use Atria for my ad spying. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys want it. But a really cool thing about Atria is like I can take a script of a unicorn ad like this one. I can have it transcribed immediately, copy that script. I can also use AI to create a similar script if I want to. And I like this because what I can do is now I can create many scripts once it has details about my product and about my brand that then dude, like I could pump out 100 versions of these in different permutations. So if you're not using platforms like this to make running ads for yourself easier, like listen, like I'm all for writing scripts, but I also like to find unicorn scripts, take the essence that make it work. I don't ever like to copy people, but I take the essence that make it work and then make my own versions of it. You do that, you have no reason not to have scripts. Like writing scripts should be the least amount of friction thing for you with AI. Don't ever take what AI says, edit it, but like getting the ideas from like inspiration like this should be very easy to do. All right, number 3, and this is one that's really blown my mind, is that subscribers are auto subscribed. So let's go to their website, check this out. Here's their website real quick. This product, this is probably one of their best selling ones, the watermelon one. Here's what's crazy, is this button, it auto subscribes you. It's not a one-time purchase. They don't even give that option. And this is actually legal, by the way. It auto subscribes them. Now, they make it clear that you can cancel anytime you want, change or cancel easily, free shipping on first purchase. So they make it really clear, make it really easy to unsubscribe, but it's auto subscribe. So that's the only way to buy this product. So literally everyone who buys this product is a subscriber. Some are gonna fall off, some are not gonna repurchase, but literally everyone subscribes. And like, it's so funny because I made videos about this and I've also coached our mentorship group, the people that have subscription businesses, where typically what you typically see is like subscribe, 15% off, whatever, and then buy one time. I've told our brands and our mentorship group, always make the subscriber the default. And so for example, I posted about this is like one of our brands, that's a supplement brand in our group, just by changing that one thing in like last December, he's increased his subscriber rate by like 30, 40% because it's the default. Humans are amazing amazing creatures, we like to just go with the default for a lot of different reasons, but I won't get into the psychology of that. So that's one hack, but this hack is like a whole nother level where it's auto subscribe. No wonder they have such a crazy business model, because literally everyone who buys is subscribed, right? So it's just fan-freaking-tastic. All right, and then number 4 is they whitelist. They whitelist ads like crazy. Now, what I did hear conversations is at any given time, they're whitelisting 30 to 40 people. Now, some of those people are maybe free, some of them are paying a retainer. And now they have such a big budget, they are experimenting a lot with people that they have to pay like a lot of money to whitelist their account just to see if it's going to perform, because that is a big deal too. But it's quite interesting where they say like it is by far outperforming their own branded pages too. And so if you go their ad library, they have 100 ads, about 100 ads that are live right now. You take that, multiply that by 30, that's probably 300 to 400 ads that are live across all the different whitelisted people. Now, we do this a lot, and I like this mix. Number 1, so here's kind of like the mix I like to go for is number 1, I like to tap up my customers first, because a lot of times they can agree to do it for free or with product. Like product is really, really cheap and they don't realize like how profitable that is. So I like to hit up my customers first, especially if they're making customer generated content, which I've made videos on how to get customer generated content. You can go back and watch those. Number 1, customers. Number 2, I like to then hit up people that I am paying money to create content for. Like maybe that's also, you can use product seeding, for example, where you send people products, they make content, and then you can reach out and ask them if you can whitelist. That's really good. Or for example, people you're paying to make content anyways, part of the agreement would be, hey, can I whitelist this for a set period of time? Now, I have a big success rate of getting people to agree that I don't have to pay them to whitelist. And the reason why is because I tell them that I'm going to grow your followers for free. That's a big thing. And then number 3 is you can actually use networks to help you find people to whitelist. One of my favorite platforms is Incense for this. This is a content creator marketplace. I'll put that in the description as well, where you can pick and choose any kind of creator that you want. You can send them a product in exchange for content. You can then pay them to make content. You can be specific with scripts, or then you can take the agreement where you want to whitelist their account as well to run that content. All of it works. And the last one is then going to be retainers. So typically, once we find people we love working with, they make good content, they perform, then what we'll do is we'll set up a retainer agreement where we'll say, hey, I'll have to pay you X number per month to just keep whitelisting this thing. Sometimes there's hybrids and they want like a performance deal, but typically I can just negotiate just for retainer, because a lot of these people just want like consistent money as well. So that's the mix that performs really, really well for us.